Previously on Chaser.
Kabir.
Chaser. I am so very happy to meet you in person, Mr. Chaser.
Do you see that old lighthouse? From there, you and your sniper rifle will make sure that we pass without problems. When we get through, you'll join us, taking the wet road.
Hello and welcome back. Here we are at the top of the lighthouse and we are about to provide some support fire for Kabir as he makes his way through this warehouse district. The room which we are currently trapped in has 3 windows, and that denotes 3 different waves that we kind of have to protect Kabir through.
I'm upstairs. You can go. I'll cover you.
That voice clip activates whenever you reach the first window. So let's take a peek and see if we can find Kabir. I should also note that this level has no music, so I've added some of my own.
They're coming to kill us!
And here's the reason we're up here. We have to take out some guys. These guys are split into 3 different types mostly. We've got guys with machine guns who are really no threat at all. A guy we'll see shortly with grenades which he just throws. With kind of mixed results. And we've got guys with grenade launchers who are deadly, and we'll see enough of those soon enough. You may be able to notice my tactic of playing this level is to zoom out fully, and while they're in scoped mode or not in scoped mode, it makes it a lot easier to pick out the machine gunners, and then you can kind of just quickly zoom in with them with the mouse pretty quickly and take them out. This part is pretty slow as Kabir backs up and then takes a different route, so I'll just explain a flaw that you may have already noticed. If you have a look at this section of the map, it's in the circle there, you'll see that the clipping range of the camera is closer than it should be, and because of that some of the far geometry is, well, it's just not being rendered. At first glance it's a very quick fix. You just increase the range of the camera, but if you look over here it would appear that that would just cause more problems than it fixes. What you see happening there on the tanker is called Z fighting. The explanation for that is 2 polygons are too close together, and whenever the visible range of the camera is big enough, those 2 polygons start fighting for the same position, and sometimes you'll get this step laddering effect, as you can see. The only real way to fix that, short of doing some expensive recoding or redoing the level, is to decrease how far the camera can see, and I think that's probably what happened here. During the level you might be able to notice some more flickering on various parts of the level, especially the ground, and even on the wheels of the truck you can see them kind of clipping through the ground strangely. And I think the problem would have been actually a lot worse whenever Cauldron were first working on this level, and they kind of decided the quickest way to fix it is, as I said, decrease how far the camera can see. So that's why in this particular section, the first section, you can't really see all the way to the edge, and in the other 2 windows you'll see that you can't see any far geometry whatsoever. So I think this was kind of trying to make the best of a bad scenario, and this is what they opted for.
Left side, Chaser! Left side!
Back to the mission at hand, and finally Kabir is making some opposition, so it gives us something to do. That initial little part is probably the longest wait that we've got, but it's not the last one that we have, where we just kind of have to sit around and wait for things to happen. This one guy throwing grenades, well, he's a real trooper, but sadly he really needs to go back to training. Kabir momentarily goes out of sight behind those buildings, and thus begins a fairly lengthy section where we have to wait around some more. We've got a little bit of opposition just ahead of us, but after that it's quite a wait. Watch the tires of the truck and you'll see the Z fighting clipping them in and out. Pay attention to where the tanker is that we were looking at earlier. Just kind of keep looking at it. It's more or less under the center of the screen, where the green tower is.
Oh my god! Let's get away from here!
Yes, they blew up the tanker. Although it's a little strange because the tanker itself is, or was, full of water.
There they are! Left side, Jason! Shoot!
Another thing to point out is that you can actually shoot the tanker long before this event happens, so you can kind of just blow it up for no reason and get it out of the way. There's still an explosion that happens behind that tower, but, well. You might be able to figure that it's quite difficult to find the guys, which is kind of the reason for my tactic of zooming out. You can only really see them when they are shooting because it lights up the area around them. The clothes they're wearing are obviously dark, and so's the tarmac, so it's not ideal for picking people out. A thermal scope or something would have been cooler, but I think, well, you do what you can with the technology.
You will lose the visual contact for a few seconds, Jason. Try another window.
This is the central part of the level, and it's kind of more of the same, except for the backtracking and changing directions and that sort of thing. It doesn't happen quite so much anymore, thankfully. Here you can see the entire back wall of this section is being clipped off. And here's the first grenade launcher guy of the map. Basically, these are the guys that deal the most damage to the truck. It's kind of like the warehouse mission where you kind of have an internal damage meter for the truck itself, and after a while it will explode. And if you don't kill everything that's trying to destroy it, you'll fail the mission and you'll have to start all over again. The truck itself shows no indication of how much damage it has taken and how much more damage it can take. So this really isn't a mission where you want to quick save at any point, because you never really know what kind of state you're in. It would have been nice if this particular build of the game still had no clip enabled. There's no English version which does have it enabled, so I've not been able to explore the levels and just have a peek at hidden things and stuff, so it's kind of limiting. I'm sure there's a lot more I'm missing. Now down this road is where we're going to be heading next, and I'm going to give you a little upfront sort of information as to what I did here. As the truck drives down, there's a fellow down there who fires grenades, and it's kind of a scripted thing, and Kabir will say, "Oh help, I'm being grenaded, please kill this guy," and then you do kill him and he says, "Whoa, we're done," and then things move ahead. But you can kill him early and it kind of messes up the scripting, so everything kind of talks over itself.
Okay, he's dead. Oh my god! Jesus, get out of the trap! There is a grenade launcher behind the gas tanks!
And even though he's dead, there are still explosions going off where he would have been shooting. And just in case you actually couldn't find him, another AI guy will spawn behind him, come around and shoot the barrels automatically, just to kill everyone in the vicinity.
Yet another blocked way, and more soldiers in front of us!
This final section is fairly short. He's just got a couple of corners to turn and then we're done. But there is one ambush which is particularly deadly, and we'll get to that eventually. You'll be able to see that I pretty much just stop shooting everyone and try to find the grenade launcher once I see the telltale smoke trail.
It's an ambush, Jason! Shoot! We are almost out!
And with that we're done, and rather than make you wait, I'm going to save you about 15 seconds of your life and speed this bit up.
Alright, Chaser. Thank you. You have saved us. Am I speaking with someone from the family?
This is Tommy, the new chief. Who's that?
Who I am isn't important. What's important is that I know where the guy is who finished off Valero.
You know where Chase is? Talk to me.
He's here in the cargo harbor. Pier 39. Shit, I gotta go.
Jose, get everybody who can carry a weapon and come with me. It's Chaser.
And with that little confrontation setting cutscene, we're all done, and I'll see you next time when we find out what Kabir meant by taking the wedge route. Also with the question, where the fuck did Chaser get all this equipment, and why couldn't he use it just to skip the entire last level? Next time on Chaser.